4 is 36. And then you subtract that from 0, 0, which is 0, which is 36. That's that problem. Hello there. And in fact, the answer is actually 36, not 43. Oh wait, did you mean to say 42? You think that I did it wrong? You think I did it? Well, the textbook or the assignment itself thinks I did it correctly. And I literally followed this solution here. Wait, they come up with 72. How did they come up with 72? What? Oh, it's because they use different limits. They use different limits than me. They use 3. I use 3 and 4, and they use 3 and 8. Okay, if you think your answer is correct, then explain how you got that answer. It's hard to argue with, this is coming directly from the textbook. Actually, no, it's not exactly directly, but that's just what it is. You are a human calculator. Huh. Wait, actually it says you can use a computer algebra system to verify your results. But the problem is I don't know how to type this into a Wolfram Alpha, which was I was using before, and I don't have access to a computer algebra system, so I can't actually verify it. Well, okay, dude. How am I supposed to trust you when the assignment itself gives me a green check mark? It says your answer is correct when I put 36 as the answer. It's correct. 36 is the correct answer. The assignment is Antifa. Don't trust it. Oh my gosh. Can you explain to me what the fundamental theorem of line integrals is? Because if you can, then maybe I would trust you with your answer. Okay, what is it? Explain it. You actually don't have to explain it at all. You just have to... Hold on a second. Did you just copy it from Wikipedia? Can't believe Wikipedia copied me. Oh my goodness graciousness. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious, dude. That's so funny. Well, what source did they cite? Actually, no, they don't have a source here. Because it's the introduction of the article. So I don't think they have sources until they get into the main body of the article. But yeah, dude, you just typed into Google and copy and pasted what you got. Do you know what any of this stuff means? I mean, I don't really know too much about what it means. I just know how to solve the problem, really. So, I'm supposed to believe that some random guy in my Twitch chat wrote this exact sentence. Dude, did you write this in your book or something? Do you have a book? And then you copied this sentence from the book that you wrote? How could Wikipedia have copied you? Didn't you just come up with that off the top of your head? Or did you copy something that you wrote already? And then Wikipedia read the thing that you wrote and then copied it word for word. What's your book? What book did you write? Well, so let's go back to what you were saying before. You're saying that I'm following a certain process to solve this problem. And I'm following the process that this specific textbook, is telling me to follow to get a certain number. But they are in fact Antifa, and it's propaganda, and it's actually not the correct way to solve the problem, and there's a different way to solve the problem that yields the result 43. And that's the true, correct way to do it. That's what you're saying? Like, I'm supposed to believe that my entire college education is a complete and utter lie, and it's all run by Antifa? Sorry they tricked you, man. Oh my goodness. So, all of the stuff okay, so are you saying that also the entire education system is also a complete hoax? Like, not just the college, the specific college I'm attending. Actually, this is a random community college in Iowa, which also happens to agree with this other random community college in Iowa that I also was attending. You're saying not the college, just the fundamental theory of line integrals is incorrect? So Wikipedia. Wait. But you just said I did it incorrectly. Are you just trolling, dude? Are you just trolling? You must just be trolling. For a little bit there, I thought you were actually serious, but I think you might just be trolling. Well, you got me. You got me for a few minutes. But anyways, I'm going to go on to the next question. I got the right answer of 36. So integrate this with respect to... Actually, if you... So basically, so the thing is, you come up with both for both. Haha, very funny. I'm a mindless zombie controlled by Antifa. That's really hilarious. The fundamental theorem of line integrals is just one little tiny part of my class. Like, there's a bunch of other stuff I've been doing. I'm only using the fundamental theorem of line integrals for like 3 or 4 questions. Well, that is definitely true. I'll give you that. I don't really understand it very well. I kind of sort of understand it. Like, I know... Actually, I don't really understand line integrals. I do understand regular integrals. Like, if you do a regular integral, it's the area under the curve. The fundamental theory of line integrals is part of Antifa's plan. It's essential to their plan. Dude, what if you had come onto this stream and I was not doing that? I was doing something else. Like, let's see, what was I doing earlier today? I was doing, find the magnitude of this vector field or whatever that is. Let's see. Find the conservative vector field for the potential function by finding its gradient. So, if you had come onto the stream and I was doing this question, would you say that I'd also done this incorrectly? Vector fields aren't in Antifa's plan. Okay. Hold on a second. But guess what, dude? The question I'm doing that concerns the fundamental theorem of line integrals is underneath this, it's part of vector fields. It's actually a part of vector fields. This has to do with vector fields. But you're just saying that the single theorem of fundamental theorem of line integrals... What else is part of Antifa's plan that I've been blindly following? In calculus. In my calculus classes, this is calculus 3. Is it only the fundamental theorem of line integrals, or is it something else too? Like, just the fundamental theorem of calculus? There's all kinds of theorems in this class. That's just one of the many theorems that I've learned. It's only the fundamental theory of line integrals. That's the only thing. So you're telling me that I should ignore questions 11, no, not 11. I should ignore questions 12, 13, 14, and 15 is also going to have to do with it, I'm pretty sure, as well. I should just ignore those questions, but the other questions are just fine. And the results I get for 12 through 15 are completely incorrect, unless I follow your method of solving the questions. So let me tell you, what is the right way to solve it? What is the right way to solve this question? Basically, you have to integrate each one with respect to, you integrate this with respect to x, integrate this with respect to y, and then you plug in 0, 0, and 3, 4. But what is the actual correct way to do it? Read your $230 book. What is your book called? Also, this question has a master thing, so that'll make it a lot easier to solve. By the fundamental theorem of line integrals, let C be a piecewise smooth curve lying in an open region. The true theory of line integrals. Are you selling it online, or is it not online anywhere? It's just, you have the sole copy of the book. You wrote the book, but you never published it. And now you're selling it. Or is it mass produced? Who's the publisher? Can I buy it in a store? Or is it some online store I can buy it from? It's on the black market. I don't want Antifa getting wind of it. Of course it is. Here, I'll make this screen bigger. Okay. I'm gonna assume you're trolling. You're just a troll. You're not actually serious about what you're saying. So I'm not gonna keep entertaining this, hypothetical situation. But if you are serious, I don't think you're serious. I really don't think you're serious. I'd say there's like a 90% chance that I know Antifa exists, but it doesn't exist in the way that you think it does, or the way you're describing. Antifa it's just a label that people give themselves. It's just a bunch of random people who have different ideas. But I guess I guess you think Wikipedia is controlled by Antifa or whatever too, but Antifa. What is Antifa, in fact? Antifa is a political protest movement comprising autonomous groups affiliated by their militant opposition to fascism and other forms of extreme right-wing ideology. Is there something wrong with that definition of Antifa? Let's see, where's the Wikipedia article? They must have influenced Wikipedia to make them sound not as bad as they really are. Apparently. It's comprising a diverse array of autonomous groups. That's the thing that you're missing here. There's no big, scary thing called Antifa that exists. It's just a bunch of random groups of people that all believe different things. Have you ever thought about what Wikipedia stands for? Well, it's like encyclopedia, and then wiki is like... I've learned quite a few actual true things from Wikipedia that have been verified by other sources as well as Wikipedia. And studies have found that Wikipedia is almost as reliable, if not equally as reliable, as many other encyclopedias, like, Encyclopedia Britannica, all that stuff. Okay, fine, I won't use Wikipedia, I'll use some other thing. What is Antifa? What is Antifa? Separating fact from fiction. Okay, I'm guessing you think that most of these sources are not trustworthy. So what is the trustworthy source? I'm guessing you don't think Washington Post is trustworthy. I don't even know what wbur.org is. It's just a bunch of random websites. The Guardian, CNN. Okay, this is a waste of time. This is a complete waste of time. Pornhub comments is where you find the real truth. That's fun. That's really fun. Okay, you know what? It was fun entertaining you for this whatever amount of time, but I'm gonna go back to doing my homework. Okay. I will account for the two possibilities here, whether you actually think that this is all true and you've drunk the Kool-Aid, or you're just a troll. If you're a troll, haha, very funny. If you actually think this is true, I'm really sorry for you, and I hope you can maybe, I don't know, just rethink your whole ideology and don't believe just random people. You know, there's conspiracy theorists out there who claim that they know the real truth about everything, and you know they don't know anything. I don't believe random people. It's not just Wikipedia, okay? It's corroborated with all types of sources, all types of scholarly sources. So, like, are you saying that any information I try to find by Googling information, it's all false? All of these sources, all of these news outlets, every single one of them is false. Every single one of them. They're all controlled by some nefarious thing, organization, Antifa or whatever. I'm not saying it's just Wikipedia. What about all the news outlets? Corporate media, I guess. Now, they are biased, but they're not always, they're not completely and utterly false with everything that they say. They're comprised of real people who do their own research, and they try to find the truth themselves. They don't just blindly listen to their, superiors or whatever. You could be inclined to, believe in all these conspiracy theories, but you just have to use Occam's razor. It's the simplest way to explain the reality is probably the most accurate way. Like, what are the chances that there's some grand conspiracy that's out there when the reality of it is just much simpler? The reality is just that. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. I'm not very good at deciphering whether you're really serious or not, but You know what? I think I'm gonna go with you're not serious. You're not serious because you just chose some random thing that I was doing in my calculus class, the fundamental theorem of line integrals. What even is Occam's razor? It's named after somebody named Occam, but I don't remember Occam's razor. Let's see. Well, yeah, I know I'm going to Wikipedia. I know. Whoops, I guess this is not a reliable source. Who is it named after? William of Ockham. William of Ockham was an English Franciscan friar, scholastic philosopher. Wow, he lived a long time ago. Let's see, where is Ockham? That's like a place. Ockham is a rural and semi-rural village in the borough of Guildford in Surrey, England. So it's basically named after a guy who was from Ockham, which is a place in England. So it actually is not American, but it's British. It's the origin of the name is British. Antifa headquarters. That's the Antifa headquarters. That's funny. You're just making the stuff you're just making up stuff as you go along. Okay, I think I'm gonna lean towards you're just trolling. You're totally just a troll. I am now like 95% certain that you're just trolling me right now. I'm just gonna keep going along with my homework. I'm not keep getting distracted by you. But yeah. Did I click the master thing? Yeah. Oh no, they changed the numbers. Well, I'll just follow the way they do it. So let's see. If it is conservative and if it is continuous, then blah, 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 blah. Well, that's simple. Well, yeah, I'm going to a community college. This class that I'm taking here is actually a class for a community college that's like on the other side of Iowa, and it's just an online class. So, Western Iowa Tech Community College is where I'm taking this class. And I'm also taking a class. I've been going to Northeast Iowa Community College for the past couple of years. But the reason why I'm taking this class at Western Iowa Tech Community College is because NICC doesn't have Calc 3, so I had to take it at some other random college. I did take Calc 1 and 2 at NICC, though. We have m equals 6, 3x plus 6y. N equals 12 times 3x plus 6y. It's conservative and they are continuous, then that equals that. Well, we're assuming that it is conservative, so they're going to both be the same, 36. They already told me. Is that gunfire? Actually, no, it's just fireworks because it's July 4th. Independence Day. That's very good timing, actually. Oh, man. Wow. So this was all correct. We're just assuming that it's conservative. We're assuming it's conservative. The integral with respect to... What am I doing for Independence Day? I'm not doing anything. We're not really celebrating it. I guess a lot of people go out and, watch fireworks and, like, go to parties and stuff. But for one, there's COVID-19, and for another, I don't usually celebrate it anyways, so I'm just staying home and doing homework. Wait, hold on a second. Wait, they got D of blah with respect to the... What? Wait a minute, how did they get 36? dm with respect to y. How do you differentiate this with respect to y? Oh, I'm stupid. So basically you have this with respect to y and this with respect to x. So you have 5 times 4 is 20. So it should be 20 for both. 5, 2 times 10 is 20. Yep, they're 20. They're both 20. And then you plug in the numbers, but you don't even have any variables. So the answer is 20. And yes, I did use the fundamental theorem of integrals for that question. Dang, I did it wrong. I did it wrong. Dang. Oh my gosh, how did I do it wrong? Because look, with respect to y, 6 times 6 is 36. And then, oh, I think I skipped a couple of steps by accident. You're supposed to plug it into like an equation or something. Wait, you're just testing to see if it's conservative first. Whoops. Never mind. I know 43 is not going to work, dude. You already told me 43 for the last question. Since it's conservative, let the potential function be and its gradient given by this. Thus, that plus that equals that plus that. Therefore, fx... Wait, let's see what they say. What the heck? Just be glad it's conservative and not libtard, am I right? Ha ha ha. Funny. Even though the word conservative is being used in a different way in this class. It means if something is conservative, if it's conservative, it means it has something to do with like its gradient is equal to whatever. It's just a property of math that we just call it conservative. I'm not sure why they call it that, but those fireworks sounds. Six and 12. Wait a minute. The differential with respect to x. Wow, that is really loud. Isn't it daytime in America? Yeah, it is daytime. It's probably just random people sitting at home and they bought fireworks because like since there's COVID-19, you don't want to have a big gathering of people. So people probably just went to the store and bought fireworks, and now they're just setting them off at random times throughout the day. Maybe. That's just what I think. I'm not really sure if that's right, but fxxy. What the heck? Wait, that's that. What's COVID-19? Are you seriously don't know what COVID-19 is? I'm not even going to bother with the explanation. Unless you genuinely don't know. I guess you're just continuing to troll me right now. So integrate f of x with respect to x, and then you integrate that with respect to x and integrate that with respect to y separately. We don't have this COVID in North Korea. Oh my gosh. So you integrate it with respect to x and integrate with respect to y. So they got 36xy plus 36y. Wait, what? What is that? Hold on a sec. 9x squared plus 36xy plus gy. What the heck? Wait a minute. So x, integrate with respect to x, you have x squared, and then divided by 2, which is 3 halves, multiplied by 6 is 3 times 3, which is 9. Okay, I see. You know what? Just to entertain you, I will try 43. Wait, let me just make sure I have enough attempts to do that. Yeah. Watch this. 43 is not going to work. You yourself said this. Because 36 was the correct answer for the other one. So there, I tried 43. It didn't work. So yeah, you integrate with respect to x plus, wait, where did they get the... Oh, I see. You add an x on it. And then plus g parentheses y. I don't even know why they have the g of y right there. Oh, what is the g of y? Plus g of y plus h of x. I don't know what the g of y and h of x are. It's just a generic function. They conclude that g of y is a constant with respect to x, and h of x is a constant with respect to y. Find the single expression for f(xy) by equating those two to a constant. All right, well, I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it for this one with the different numbers because the tutorial has different numbers than the actual question. 13. So the integral of this one, actually you can't see where I'm pointing. Whoops. With respect to x is 4, and then x squared plus 5xy I'm streaming it because it's because it just, for some reason, filming myself doing the homework forces me to focus on doing the homework. Whereas if I'm not filming myself doing it, then I don't know, I just don't feel any pressure at all to work and stay focused on it. Yeah, I guess that is true. I haven't really been too focused on it. I guess you're kind of right there. So the thing I was doing for like the past month is just doing vlogs of the homework. So basically, instead of streaming it, I wouldn't stream it. I would take videos of my phone and just give regular updates on how my homework is going. So, but I was streaming it before I was doing the vlogs. I also was streaming it, and it does help me focus. The funny thing is, though, if somebody comes and starts watching the stream and then starts chatting, then I guess that is when I do lose focus, which is kind of ironic. But if there is nobody watching the stream and there's nobody in the chat, then I stay really, really focused. But that seems counterintuitive, because if you're streaming, then you're basically just asking for somebody to come into the chat, and then you lose focus. But oh yeah, you don't have to leave if you don't want to. It's fine. Like if I'm in a grind and I really, really want to focus, then I would just turn off the stream, I guess. Or maybe do the vlog instead of the stream. Wait, how far have we gotten since you got here? Actually, I've only gotten to... So like when you got here, I had just done number 12, and now I'm trying to work on 13. So yeah, I haven't gotten too far, have I? Oh man. 4x squared plus 5xy. So they have that, and then they add a g of y. Okay, then whatever, I'll add the g of y. And then the other one is 10 2xy plus 5 over 2 y squared. Yeah, that's what I thought. I kind of thought about it. Like, I'm guessing you've taken calculus classes, haven't you? Since you actually do seem to know a little bit about it, like, the plus c when you do normal integration. And then this one, I'll just do an h of y. You would think that you would just label it as a plus c, but they label it as a g of y and an h of y. I'm not entirely sure why. Dude, I wrote a whole book. Right, that's right.